Okay, sports fans, we are here in Barcelona. We're about to get started. Australia versus Colombia. Both these teams' first matchup here at the 2018 Men's Roller Derby World Cup.
I am Mary Chaos. Who are you?
And I'm KP. G'day to all the people in Australia watching right now. They're just settling down for dinner time there. Finished work, ready to cheer on all the green and gold.
And Colombia, I'm not quite sure what time it would be there in South America, but probably early.
Yeah, I would say
based on the fact that all of my East Coast friends are still asleep.
Okay, well, we just got about 3 minutes till Derby. Let's bring up the rosters. For Australia, we have 0-5, Lucky Phil. 1-1, Sausage Rolls. Number 1-2, Simon Chambers. 1-3 is Matthew Hawley. Number 1-6, Ballistic Whistle. 1-7-3 is Copter. Number 3-4 is Dirty 5. Number 4, Ash Collins. Number 51, Aaron Van Berkel. Number 633, Grant Milling. 643 is Niall Boyd. 666, Daniel Belts. 7200 is Stephen Trop. 90 Grease Monkey. 99 Mavericky. 1261 is Slinger, and 80 Flaming Galar. You'll notice a few of those regulars are skating under their family names, so you might not recognize their names, but you will recognize them on track.
And skating for Colombia in the blue with, it looks like, red and gold accents. We've got 019 Azazel. Number 08 Hyde. 082 Kaliman. 0946 Milou. 1013 El Majestic. 13 Rock and Rolla. 2482 Zet. 29 Tote. 30 Anthony. 33 Zalukia. 0603 House Star. 61 Nadi. 77 Hawkman. 9 Bushin. And 97 Hotch.
Excellent. Well, apologies if we do miss up any of the pronunciations for Colombia. They haven't provided us a pronunciation guide. We have one for the Wizards.
Yes.
I'm not sure we're going to need that one so much.
I've been studying Spanish. However, Spanish in Spain is different than Spanish everywhere else in the world. So I'm sorry.
So you will see, you might catch them on the sides of the track. Lots of green and gold supporters are trackside here in Barcelona. But I think we got quite a few supporters from Colombia here and on the live stream.
It's been pretty typical at World Cups to have a lot of Aussies representing, I've noticed. Calgary last time, there was a huge contingent of yellow, gold and green, I'm saying, and green in the stand.
And you'll see there's quite a few new skaters to the Wizards roster. And I believe a lot of their families have come to see them play for their country for the first time. Quite a few veterans out there also. We can see Sausage Rolls is already wearing the Jammer Star. Obviously, he has been the primary point scorer for the Wizards at all the World Cups so far, and he's already on the track with his signature poisons.
I was just going to say something about that. I am always astounded. It does not matter what floor he's on. For those of us who play, the wheel changes. Like, I'm not good enough at roller skating to be able to just wear whatever. So the fact that he just is like, nah, these are my wheels.
Well, he doesn't wear just whatever. He has different vintages of poisons. So new ones are grippier, so when it's a slippery floor, he will put brand new poisons on. I can't tell today. They look like they're
pretty
probably
new.
Maybe a year-old vintage. He has some really old ones, but when it's a grippy floor, they get harder.
You can tell by the color.
Yep.
The brighter green they are, the newer they are.
Yeah, they definitely fade.
And we have not seen a Jammer Star appear for Colombia yet.
Yeah, it seems like the officials aren't quite ready to get the game underway. Skaters are clearly ready. All right, so you will, well, some of you might also recognize some partners of the women's Team Australia out there. Mavericky, his partner, skates for VRDL and Team Australia. We have Simon Chambers, you will recognize the surname from partner of Sarah Chambers. Obviously, they get pushed hard by their partners, which is why both of them are now the first times on the squad.
This is no biggie.
Yes, I met Simon Chambers actually before WFTDA champs. VRDL held a boot camp in Philadelphia that I attended, and I have not seen the Victoria Men's League play, so I didn't know who he was, but he was super helpful and very good at roller derby, is what I was noticing. So I'm excited to see him play with the national team.
Prepare to see some of these newest members of the Wizards really blow you away. They've stepped it up. They've been training so hard. Even though some of them haven't been playing that long, their skill level is off the charts. They're really making these veterans earn their spot on the squad today.
Colombia is coming in kind of a question mark. There isn't a lot of MRDA play that happens in South America.
Yeah.
A lot of these players, most of us haven't seen since last World Cup.
Yep. Now, they're one of these teams I understand they don't really run ring-ins. They are genuinely all Colombians that skate and play in Colombia, so they have their own style of play. We have, you've seen a few of the teams here this weekend. They do run essentially ring-ins, Americans with different passports. But Colombia's not one of them. This is a genuine matchup here. So Sarge versus El Majestic is going to get us underway. First jam here. It's 30 minutes, no clock stoppages. This is about just racking up points quickly. Sarge certainly knows how to do that, but tight defense from both teams here is not making it easy. It's a big pile up there. Sarge, with that one hand holding him up, doesn't go out of bounds and picks up lead.
El Majestic having a hard time against the much taller Australian crew.
Meanwhile, Sin and Simon Chambers just going partner blocking work there on El Majestic. Sarge picks up the first points of the game. His signature elbow patter just before he re-enters the pack.
Everyone's got a twitch. Majestic being frenetic and very, very shoulder heavy. I like seeing the energy he's putting into trying to break apart the blockers.
El Majestic tried an apex jump on Ballistic Whistle, but Ballistic, so much experience, he had none of that and drew him back. We've now seen a successful star pass, though. Let's see, what's Sarge going to do? Is he going to try and rack up more points and trust his blockers to keep him at a low score? Yes, he is. Sarge hop, skips and jumps, 5 more points, but there we go. Points on the board for Colombia. Well, the Wizards have been training against a lot of other Aussies, but they haven't come across international competition for 2 years now. These different styles of play are going to throw them a little bit in these early games. Sarge still just going, though.
It's going to be interesting to see how both teams adjust. For Colombia, they haven't had a chance to play many other teams either. So for them to go up against such a strong opponent right away, we'll see how their learning curve is.
Yeah. Now the bench strategy in these early pool rounds is going to be really important. There's a lot of maths involved here. You can't just call it just because the other skater's out. You need to make sure you're racking up points quickly. We saw Team USA over on the other track earlier really smash out a big score. So Wizards are going to want to show that they deserve to be in the grand final this time. Well, you'll see there our replay powered by vMix. Very cool stuff to be able to see all the action over and over and over. Look at Sarge just work his way up. Those wheels stick like toe stops. All right, we're back live. Slender Jam versus Nady. Slender Jam, a super tall skater. Only been skating roller derby for 18 months, I think. He's very new, but comes from a speed skating background. Also one of the youngest skaters on the Wizards. Flies all the way from Perth for training. That's a 6-hour flight.
Wow.
But there he is, picking up lead.
Nadi still set in the back, using his feet. The feet of the Colombians are super quick.
Just one to beat. Boyd up the front. Oh, and Boyd picks up the elbows penalty for it, releasing Nadi out on a scoring pass. Slender Jam, though, with a penalty. It's a back block. This is not what the Wizards need, but it's exactly what Colombia want. Look at that pack advantage on the track. They send some offense up. Now they're going passive. We get a no pack call, probably a destruction there on Colombia. Yeah, that's going to even things out a little bit, but 5 points up on the board.
Trading one Australian blocker for another in the penalty box. Colombia did not watch Team England's offense earlier. England was, when they were set in this situation, sent a crashing everyone play offense. And Colombia's had settled just for one person kind of running up and hoping for the best.
Yeah, certainly some veterans out there for Australia that really can just suck up that offense. Milling there, previously known as Synaptic Kid or Symbiotic Kid, depending on how badly I'm mispronouncing it today. I did promise him I would get it evenly wrong. There we have it called off, though, after 2 minutes expire in that jam. 9 points to 6. Good penalty kill there by Australia, but still, that's a strong winning jam for Colombia.
Yeah, every point that Colombia can put up against Australia is going to be important as we move through this group play. Australia's not an easy team to score on, so.
That's for sure. I've jammed against these walls plenty of times. They are brutal. So Dreadlocks, another new recruit to the Wizards. Skates for Victorian men's. Previously skated for Kingston, the mixed league down in Melbourne. First time in World Cup action here, and he already has lead and looking strong.
Rock and Roller had a very nice takeout and recycle back.
Big points up, Ballistic Whistle just controlling his pack from the front there. Collins, who previously captained Vancouver Murder at MRDWC champs, he's got plenty of big tournament experience now, living in Melbourne and skating for Victorian men's. Dreadlocks up for another scoring pass. Simon Chambers thought he had the recycle, and well, Rock agrees with him. There's the cutting penalty on the Colombia jammer. The star pass had taken place, but the pivot's being instructed. You are not the jammer.
And I'm going to be surprised if we don't see an insubordination going to Milou for that. He did not go to the box, instead took the time to get his hat.
Yeah, that's something. Well, there's not really any official reviews in these games.
No.
Dreadlocks now calls it off. 20 points. That's a big score for the Aussies.
Available in tons of colors and patterns. Check them out on Etsy or BruisedSN.com.
All right, so are we going to see any repercussions of that star pass, star retrieval?
I'm not seeing anything signal. Sometimes the head referee will come in if they have noticed something. Sometimes not.
Well, we are going to see the Colombia jammer start this jam in the Cheese Balls Bearings penalty box. Lucky Phil, another new recruit for the Wizards this World Cup. His first time on the track wearing green and gold. Well known for wearing his dark glasses while jamming.
Oh. Huh.
I've never really worked out if it's just a psyching out thing or whether he really needs it. He does it every game though.
Sometimes having that little bit of glare reduction does actually help.
Okay, so Milou is now out of the Cheese Balls penalty box. He is immediately reaching for a star pass to his pivot. I can't see if it's actually been a successful pass.
I
just
believe
too
it
many
has.
bodies. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Milling working with Boyd to knock. That is now 1-0-1-3.
El Majestic.
El Majestic has now got the star. Meanwhile, Lucky Phil just cruising around. All these jammers on their poisons. He's got the pink ones today. Grease Monkey up the front, trying to keep the pack separated to make it a little easier for Lucky Phil. He's been training that offensive role for the last few months. Now he's playing a bit of passive. He's having a good conversation with Lucky Phil at the front. Lucky Phil still working on that free wall. There comes some offense. Boyd picking up the penalty for it, though.
Colombia figured out their tripod on this one. Colombia has a height advantage, a disadvantage, I should say, as far as length is concerned, but they're starting to figure out if they get underneath Lucky Phil, they can hold him a little bit better. They're
definitely slowing him down, and with two of the big boys for the Aussies, Trop and Boyd, in the box, it's now giving El Majestic that chance to get out. Lucky Phil, only 9 points so far as El Majestic comes up for a scoring pass and gets through without any fuss. 5, gets the jam at that point even. So here's a replay of Phil getting out for his, I think this is his initial pass for lead. Just powers through. No, that was his scoring pass. We're going to have a little bit of track repair. Hopefully it doesn't cause a timeout. All right, so good chance for Colombia. They're going to start with an empty penalty box. Trop for the Wizards is standing in the cheese balls box.
And this is Kellyman's first time with the Jammer Star for Colombia.
All right, so Trop is back. Sausage rolls, though, just his elbow pad on his way to his first scoring pass. Ballistic tries to stop the jammer. Now we're going to see Sarge doing some jammer on jammer. Look at this acceleration from Sarge as Kellyman tries to keep up. Set up at the back from the Wizards wall. Sarge going to keep going.
Destruction call going to 0-19, I believe.
Oh, and a big apex jump. Sarge not even slowing down for that one. Big grinding three wall. Sin, Simon Chambers and Ballistic at the back. Sarge working with Trop for the offense up the front. Kellyman making no success at the back, but the out of play limits the damage there. Sarge 14 points while all that's happened. There's still 50 seconds left in this jam.
Colombia distracted by the offense. Sarge able to just burst through.
Sarge still just working one-on-one. Now he gets a wall to fight against, but he's got so much grip, he's just going to push him right out of play. Easily done. We've seen the star stash, star pass to Nady. Sin comes up for the offense for Sarge. He just gets recycled and happily calls it off.
Something I'm noticing from the Colombia Jammers, they're very quick. They have a lot of toe-stop work, but it's almost like they haven't adjusted to the speed of a team like this. So for other teams, I think their speed and their agility is going to do really good things. And for the rest of this game, it's going to be interesting to see if they can adjust up. Oh, the footwork from Sarge. It's almost not fair.
All right, so we're back underway. Slender Jam, his second time out, wearing the star for the Wizards. Straight through for lead jammer. It's giving us so much time. We can thank Roller Derby Elite, the brand that is sport. Now he's hitting for a scoring pass, but hits a solid three-wall. Grease Monkey playing the active offense role to free him up.
Zaluga, I believe, possibly is how you say that. But Colombia seems to be taking a little bit more of a size approach now to their jammers. It's his first time out on the track, and he is able to get through the Australian blockers.
Yeah, they're going to have to try and mix something up, make things happen. Synaptic there playing offense for Slender. Now Synaptic steps back, just controlling the pack. The Wizards do have Zaluga contained at the back. Pack is on their side while Slender works forward. Now Kid runs back, tries to just leave Slender to work his way up, and he's done. There's his 5 points. Now we're seeing a star pass. Kid's got it covered though, but no, big powerful drive from the pivot gets him out.
Let's see how many points. 3 points had gotten by him before the star pass, so that will go up.
All right, so Slender calls it off. 4 more points, doesn't allow Colombia to score. But we have a clean cheese balls penalty box, so
yes,
we're almost halfway through this game. 117 plays 28.
And an important note for people at home, because this is something that even, for some reason I notice even vets forget this. Just because you take the star off during a pass does not mean you lose those points. 3 had been gained during all that recycling, so 3 were kept.
Yeah. So solid work by Colombia around there. Each and every jam here, we have Azazel versus Dreadlocks. Both jammers not getting much success out there. Simon Chambers recycling Azazel. Now Dreadlocks out the front. Puts some speed on, lines it up. Ballistic now recycling the Colombia jammer. Not enough though. He bounces off Ballistic's back and he's through. He's on a scoring pass.
That was a great use of Ballistic's hit to kind of roll him around the tripod.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Meanwhile, Dreadlocks getting recycled himself. We're going to see... Ooh, Dreadlocks calls it off, but yes, a point was scored by Colombia there. Simon Chambers just having a chat with the refs.
Just making sure he knows what's going on.
Yep. Here we have a replay. Dreadlocks hitting with a lot of power. Really stepped up and earned that Jammer Star here on the Wizard squad. All right, we are now exactly halfway through this game. 15 minutes on the clock. Lucky Phil versus
Halstar, I think. Another new jammer for Colombia. I'm wondering if they're using this game to see who is going to be their most successful jammers over the weekend.
Yeah, possibly testing out the rotation. Lucky Phil, though, with lead jammer while skating backwards. He just spun right around that wall. Now he's working up the inside, but gets recycled. Boyd and Kidd working their way, and Kidd thinks he's got the cut. The jam ref thinks he's got the cut. So we're going to see Halstar to the cheese balls penalty box. Meanwhile, 5 points are up for Lucky Phil. Time to thank Sucker Punch Skate Shop. They're the largest derby owned and operated store in Europe, operating online and actually having a physical store. Heavily involved in the European roller derby community on a number of levels. Reliable service, honest advice, and competitive prices. Check out their top quality products and huge product range at Sucker Punch. All right, so we are on, it looks like, no, not a timeout, just lining up. Sarge back on the line for the Wizards. Azazel wearing the pivot stripe because Halstar still in the cheese balls box after that last jam. Sarge immediately through for lead. Ballistic immediately to the cheese balls box. Simon Chambers keeping Rock and Roller out of Sarge's way. Sarge hardly even slowing down for that pass. Oh, and a big apex jump for Sarge there. Coming up for another pass. While there's just constant offense in the pack by the Aussies. Constant pile up at the moment, though, as people are jumping over everyone. Sarge manages to make his way through for 5, while Kidd recycling. No, that was Simon Chambers recycling the pivot turn jammer for the Colombia. He's still holding the star in his hand, and he gets out, so it's going to be Azazel, jammer of record for Colombia, coming up. Sarge not even phased by it. He's just going to keep going, driving. 1 to beat, 2 to beat. Oh, back to 2 to beat. He's working his way up, and there's the out of play. All the points are issued. Nardi with the out of play block, though. Big scoring jam for Sarge already. Still 36 seconds on the clock. He looks like he's not going to call it off. He's just going to keep going. 28 so far, plus 5 being held up. I'm not sure if they've been added yet. This is high scoring. Oh, and Just didn't even bother touching blockers that pass.
Sarge has got a really good ability to read blockers within a particular jam. I've seen him kind of assess the situation and go, okay, these blockers are a little bit more frenetic. I can push this because I'm going to draw penalties. And then other times where he's like, no, they've kind of got a lock on me. It's going to be better if I just call it at this point.
Yeah, his energy control and reading those packs is second to none. All right, so 38 points. Big score for the Wizards.
Ready and whee!
I always say apex jumps are a terrible idea, but Sarge manages to make them a good one on a regular basis.
The people that can do them just make them look so easy, and so many other people try them and they just get smushed.
Yeah, I usually get smushed when I try that.
Me too.
All right, Dreadlocks out there versus Zulaga. Dreadlocks with an early lead for the Wizards. We see a track cut being called on one of the Colombia blockers.
Yeah.
Freeing it up.
Hush.
Dreadlocks just running. 5 points. Grease Monkey wearing his family name on his jersey today, playing that offense up the front still. But while he was busy playing offense for his jammer, Colombia gets out, forcing the call off.
That was a really sneaky star pass. That was excellent.
Such a tough play when you're playing offense up the front that you're not supposed to be playing defense, and then the jammer like skates past me, like, oh, yeah, that happened. All right, so here's a replay of Dreadlocks coming up. You can see that active O from Grease Monkey there. Drops back into passive. And Dreadlocks just going to run up the inside and leap over that final blocker to get his points. All right, back live.
I'm seeing what that replay showed me, particularly what is happening in those Colombia packs. They're trying to recycle, and instead of getting that flat wall back up against the jammer, it ends up being just a point of a triangle, and the point is not nearly as strong as the
jammers are able to jump over that point.
Yeah.
But big opportunity for Colombia here. Copter and Ballistic Whistle are in the box for Australia. Slender Jam has lead in points, but there's only Sin and Simon Chambers out there blocking for the Wizards. They're doing a good job, but there's points now on the board for Colombia.
If Colombia could settle into their shape and hold the jammer for just a couple extra seconds, they'd be able to take advantage of the short pack, but I think that opportunity is just about done.
And there is a cutting call on Slender. Simon Chambers and Sin have been working great, keeping those points minimal for Colombia. Teammates at Victoria Men's. Now they're joined with Copter and Ballistic. Copter from our nation's capital in Canberra. Works regularly with these boys though, so very strong rehearsed wall. Simon Chambers draws. Well, now we have the star pass has completed to Milu. Simon Chambers drew him out and back. Ballistic and Copter setting up the wall. Meanwhile, Sin just punching at the front. He does have pack though, so things are happening up front. Out of play call. Slender doesn't get around the wall, unable to make use of Sin's offense there. Meanwhile, we have a no pack call. Is someone going to the box for that? Yes, they are. It's going to be
Colombia.
Probably
a failure to reform.
Slender tries to use those speed skating skills to get some points at the end, but it's not enough. We're going to see, is that 8 points for Colombia in that jam? So good, strong jam for the boys in blue.
I'm wondering if Colombia talked about these star passes ahead of time of, if you get stuck, it's better to just pass it rather than trying to utilize offense. That power jam happened and Colombia didn't even try any active offense before the star pass happened. So
yeah, it's pretty hard to prepare for this sort of defense. It's probably a lot stronger than anything they played against, and unless your offense is really well timed, it's a hard thing to really just bring into a game. Lucky Phil though, with those dark glasses, he and the pink poisons, he's out for lead, and there's his first 5. Just making it look easy, calls it off. Interesting, an early call off there.
Yeah.
Maybe icing all those blockers for an easy start, but you know, I said this is the pool game. This is where maths matter as much as roller derby. You really need to be cranking up those points.
Yeah, and Lucky Phil certainly, if you've got Sarge next in your rotation, it doesn't matter who is fielded. Sarge is going to have a good chance of getting through, so why not have Lucky Phil just gather all the points?
Yeah. So jammer on jammer off the line. Zaluga goes against Sarge. Sarge works around. Sarge gets lead. Zaluga driven out of bounds by Ballistic, but Ballistic with so much force pushing that big man out that he goes with him. Sin goes for the drawback, and Sin gets the cutting on the jammer. So it's going to be a power jam for Sarge. That's not what anyone wants. Well, unless he's on your team.
Right.
So Sarge just works his way up. There's now everyone has their eyes on him. A little bit of passive at the back by the Wizards as they draw back the pivot for Colombia.
Sarge makes his own offense.
He does. It's actually a thing that he has trained.
Yeah, you can tell that his edging and footwork is such that it makes people flinch, and all he needs is that little bit of movement of a shoulder to be able to leverage himself through you.
Now the Wizards putting massive pressure on Colombia. Now I see this. Is that the star lying on the track, or is that the pivot stripe? I think it's the star. So no one's able to score for Colombia right now. I don't think they've noticed.
I think looking at the camera angle, it looks like it's the pivot.
Oh, okay.
From our angle, it looks like the star.
Zaluga has a helmet cover in his hand. I just can't see which one it is, but I'm guessing he's holding the star. The pivot's on the track. I should probably read my rules more. I'm pretty sure that he's still the pivot, thus the star pass could happen, but if he's not displayed as a pivot, I don't think...
You cannot put the star on. You can retrieve the star as an inactive pivot.
Yeah.
But you cannot, as soon as you put it on, then you go to the box.
Well, he didn't get the opportunity to. Now they've noticed the pivot stripe on the track.
Yeah.
Big score. 29 points for Sarge as we hit the final 5 minutes of this first pool round for these two teams. Take the opportunity to thank Bruised Skate Noose. Skates don't quite fit right. Don't let foot or heel slippage mess with your game. Check out the Bruised Skate straps. They wrap around your boot and plate and keep your feet in place so you can improve agility. Be better with Bruised Skate straps at bruisedsn.com. All right, while that was all happening, Dreadlocks for the Aussies with lead, but Colombia, Milu hot on his heels. It's a 3-0 jam, quick call off. The Aussie defense won't be happy with that.
And I did not do my due diligence before coming in. Do we know if it is most points added in together, like, hey, we have scored this many points that get us in, or is it point differential that matters per game?
It goes on wins, losses, and it's only for...
If there's a tie,
that
with anything would matter.
But it can affect who you match up with.
Okay.
I believe it's differential in those cases.
Okay. And if that's the case, then it wouldn't be too surprising if Australia starts to pay more attention to the jammers who are on scoring passes.
Well, Sin drawing Zaluga back. Now he's stuck on that big 3-wall. Yeah, so teams are ranked first by wins within the group, then points differential with a non-first place team ranked across the tournament, then seeded into the brackets.
So maybe at this point, Australia's going, okay, they're scoring points on us when we're even up. So being a little more selective about their call-offs.
So Slender working a 3-wall, big, strong 3-wall. Simon Chambers comes up to run offense for him. Slender not able to make advantage of it. It's still a 3-wall. He's a tall guy, and as you pointed out, Colombia getting underneath these taller jammers. Slender not able to make any progress. He slips on his toe stop, trying to get low enough.
It's great to see Colombia kind of figure that out. Like, oh, wait.
Look how low they're getting.
I know.
That's just brutal. Strong stuff. Slender not making any movement here.
This is proof for every blocker that's ever said, I'm too short, I'm not good at blocking.
Collins comes and plays active O, but again, Slender just not able to take advantage of it. Collins has to go back into passive, and the jam ends with Slender making no progress on that wall. Those Colombians look fired up. They're skating over towards where we're sitting, and their faces are just pumped.
That was El Majestic doing a lot of that very low and slow defense, and it was excellent.
A nice VMix slow-mo there, showing Collins coming in and really busting up that 3-wall, but the guy's just so low that Slender couldn't get off it. All right, Halster lining up against Lucky Phil, two very different jammer styles. A lot of movement from the blockers at the start. Grease Monkey really trying to make something happen for Lucky Phil there quickly as the game clock hits 1 minute to go. There's Lucky Phil out for lead. Milling trying to get back to the front to catch the jammer, but
he thought he didn't go out of bounds. He really thought he didn't get out of bounds. And now the insubordination.
Tough call. That's going to serve him in the box for the remainder of the period clock.
Yes. As Lucky Phil jumps the straightaway.
Yeah. Well, with someone that tall, it's not really a jump. It's more of just a long step.
And the tripod trying to catch him, he was able to just pretty much go over them.
Phil showing no emotion there as he just picks up points for his country. Just smooth and controlled. There's Symbiotic Kid coming up, playing active offense and running back. Did he destroy the pack? No, it was just perfectly timed to get Lucky Phil 5 points. Now they're trying to keep this wall apart. Milu looking back to his skater who's just getting isolated back there. Lucky Phil hits only 3 skaters. And he's just like, nah, I'm done.
And they did it that time again where they were able to bait him into the middle and then close the door underneath him and pop him up to get him out of bounds. That was great.
Well, amazing game. That went so fast. 30 minutes have elapsed. Our final score is up there as we just see a replay of Lucky Phil working his way through for that final 18 points that the Aussies earned. Big win for the Wizards of Oz over Colombia. 254 points, but 42 points for Colombia. That's a big score.
That's a huge score. All right, that brings us to the end, I believe. Next game is going to be, again, track 1 always runs on the hour.
Yeah.
So the next one will be at noon, and it will be Scotland versus Italy.
So we have now seen the top 3 teams from the last World Cup all play this morning. All looking strong as you'd expect. USA is going to be hard to stop, but you know, England and Australia, old rivals.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And will anyone step up to challenge those 3?
I've got some guesses, but I'll keep them to myself.
I'm pretty excited to see, you know, the Argentinians. Argentinians, they came, the Thunderquads came out to Australia and played us last year. They're really fired up this time. France. Strong. France has always given Australia a run for their money in the last 2 World Cups, so let's see what they bring.
Yeah, and Canada obviously is,
they want redemption.
They are desperate to get into the final game again.
They didn't like getting beaten in front of their home crowd. They got something to prove this World Cup.
All right, well, I am Mary Chaos.
And I'm KP. We're going to sign off. We'll see you later in the day or in the night or the morning, depending on where in the world you're watching from. All right. Catch you next game.